Hi guys, so we've got an awesome unboxing today. We're looking at this 32-inch BenQ full 4K HDR monitor. Let's take a look inside. Wow, okay, so this is like super thin. I haven't even taken a look at this, but just from this packaging here, this is super thin. Which, by the way, this is the third monitor review on my channel, so if you're interested in some other monitor goodness, check out those other videos after this. So it's upside down, and it's always a struggle getting monitors out because they're really fragile. They're not really fragile, but you don't want to touch them. But conveniently, it's actually in its own little package right here, so we can touch this all we want without marking up the screen. Oh my goodness. I really don't know why, but monitors are just like the best things ever to unbox. This is the size of the table. It's 32 inches. 32 inches. But man, this looks really good. It's not even on yet. I'm telling you, it looks good. So if you're a smart person, I would recommend just leaving this in the box, putting it upside down, attaching the base part, and then, you know, lifting it up, because that would be smart. So you can just do it finger tight, but I'm gonna screw them in so it's nice and snug right there. Don't want this guy tipping over. So for ports on the back here, we have two HDMI, a display port, a USB-C port, and a headphone jack along with the power cable on the other side, and you have a bunch of buttons on the bottom. Make sure to stay tuned for the next video where I do a full comprehensive breakdown of my current editing desktop situation, now including this monitor. That will be an awesome video with a bunch of tips and tricks and stuff. Let's see if I can do this. So how about we go to the edit station and set this guy up. So this monitor comes with some pretty interesting cables. We got the standard power cable right here, and then it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is gonna be really convenient for my MacBook Pro, which only has USB-C ports. And then it has a third cable right here, and this one's really interesting. It's a Thunderbolt 2 to DisplayPort. Now I'm not entirely sure why they chose specifically this cable, because I don't think I've really seen this before, but I'm thinking it's for like the later generation MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs that shipped with this Thunderbolt 2 port. This would be a good setup for that as well. Now the reason why I find it pretty interesting is the current monitor that I'm using has two Thunderbolt 2 ports in the back, and I'm only using one of them to connect to my MacBook Pro. So I'm thinking I could like daisy chain this Thunderbolt 2 port to the monitor and then only have one connect to the MacBook Pro instead of having both of them directly connect to the MacBook Pro. We could have it chain kind of work like this. I don't know if that's gonna work because I think I tried something like that earlier and didn't really work. I don't know if we have to directly connect it to MacBook Pro. I'll test that, but that will be in the next video where I talk about everything here. Today we're just focusing on this BenQ 32-inch monitor. Wow, take a look at this. So it's actually charging my MacBook Pro through the monitor. I was not expecting that to happen at all. So then could we actually close this without it going blank? Holy cow, guys, this is so cool. So I'm really not sure why, but on my other monitor, if I close the computer, it has to be plugged into power for it to work with the screen. But now, since this is providing it power, you literally just need to have your MacBook sitting right here. You know, you could have a little stand like I do on the other spot, and no power cables, nothing else except that. Look how minimal this setup is. I wasn't expecting to love this monitor as much as I do. So then we got the trackpad and mouse, and boom, just like that, you've got your own full 32-inch 4K setup. And boy, I'm gonna have to take you in for a close look at the screen. It's a wowzer. Wow, this monitor here is so beautiful. I can't even believe that I'm looking at this detailed of an image. Like, you know, I literally feel like it can be 6 inches away from it and I still can't see any pixels. Like, that's how detailed this image is. you like can't see any pixels whatsoever. Like what? This looks so good. Okay, wait, but there's even more. You know how I said it has HDR, that stands for high dynamic range, and basically that's gonna just make all the colors pop more. It's kind of more for gaming, not really color correction like what this video is demoing right here, but it's still an awesome feature. So watch this. I push this button right here, we'll switch it on to on, and you're not gonna be able to tell so well in the video here, but basically it's just increasing all of the contrast and colors and making it much more vivid and immersive, and yeah, let me tell you, it really looks good. So it also has a BI+, which I think is something to do with the color temperature. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, I just find this a little funny, but like it's such a high resolution screen. All of like the little file things, like that's my desktop. Normally it's about this big, but since there's so much resolution here, like it just automatically scales it. You can change all the settings later. But like look how tiny and cute the little finder window is. If we check the refresh rate right here, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I don't see any screen tearing or anything like that. In terms of specs, I think we should actually check out the specs of the monitor on the monitor. So this is the actual model number right here if you want to look up the specific one. 32-inch UHD Ultra High Definition 4K HDR monitor. The price is just under $600 right here. The color is metallic gray and the aspect ratio is 16:9, which this is the first 16:9 monitor I have reviewed. All the other ones have been 21:9, and this is going to be really great for seeing the whole picture of a standard, you know, like YouTube video, or most things are 16:9, like every single TV you will ever see is 16:9. So this is going to look really good for, you know, most standard stuff. The resolution here is 3840 by 2160, which is true 4K right there. The pixel pitch is 0.181 millimeters. The brightness is 300 CD per meter squared. Native contrast is 3000 to 1. Panel type is a VA. The viewing angle here is 178 degrees, which is pretty significant compared to this curved monitor, which has a much smaller viewing angle. So if you have a bunch of people looking at a single monitor at one time, this would be much better over a curved monitor, but that's a different video. Response time is 9 milliseconds for panel OD and 4 milliseconds for scalar OD. I don't really know what that means, but like it looked good. But it's virtually zero latency. Let's take a look at this. For display colors, it has 1.07 billion display colors, color gamut of 95%, color bit of 10 bits, and it is an LED monitor. For the reliability here, they're saying excluding the lamp, it'll last 60,000 hours, and the actual lamp life is 30,000 hours. That is a lot of screen time. It does have 2 built-in speakers, so why don't we play a little music here, how about? I do have to say the user system of the buttons here are not quite as good as, you know, that other monitor sitting over there. But I mean, you're really only gonna have to like deal with this stuff once or every time you set it up, so not too big of a deal. I think they forgot to like put the bass in there and like everything else, because oof, yeah, no, not gonna be able to use those speakers. But I mean, that's kind of what you would expect. But I mean, for 600 bucks, I would have thought you'd have a little bit more going on with the speaker action, but like literally nobody uses the speakers, so I don't know. I always use headphones. Alright, so finally the net weight is 7.5 kilograms and the gross weight is 10 kilograms. Not really sure why. What's the difference between net and gross? It's a monitor. It might be with the stand, because the stand's pretty heavy. So it does have flicker-free technology, dynamic power saving, low blue light. It says it has eye care, so it's gonna be like extra good for your eyes. FreeSync compatibility, smart focus, AMA Super Resolution. It's Windows compatible. We don't use Windows though. It has HDCP. It has a light sensor, which is gonna be really nice because it'll automatically adjust to your lighting conditions. Also has a color temperature, which is actually the same thing. This is a BenQ light over here. Let me turn this on. So this BenQ light actually has all the same features as this monitor does. So when you put this on there, they actually work the same way with the same light sensor and color temperature. So no matter what happens in your environment, everything looks good. And that's actually a new thing. Let me turn this off. It's the new thing that the new iPhones have that same kind of thing where, you know, they've always had the auto brightness, but now they have color temperature adjustments, which is really cool to see. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for this unboxing and quick review of the BenQ 32-inch 4K HDR monitor. I have to say I love absolutely everything except the speakers, but I mean that's kind of the case with every single monitor that has ever been created. Anyways, next video we'll be talking about how I incorporate this with the rest of my setup and everything that I'm using. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to keep it pro. I seriously love this so much. This is literally like one of my favorite monitors ever. Okay, bye.